Good afternoon, people. Good afternoon. Happy New Year to you and yours. Just really, this is going to be my first installment, volume one of creating generational wealth. All right. It's brought to you by me, Hugh. Don't forget the F little, Hugh F little. But I like to say Hugh. Don't forget the F little, uh, so that we can distinguish who we're talking to and who we're talking about. But enough about me. I'm just here to really just deliver an installment in reference to helping us start our generational wealth quest. Right? A lot of people tend to think that generational wealth starts with a lot of money. It normally ends with a lot of value, but it doesn't have to start with a lot of money, right? There are a lot of different industries that we focus on. Okay. One industry is real estate. Okay. From residential real estate to commercial real estate. That's a major industry. That's actually one of the biggest industries that creates the most wealthiest people in the world, real estate. Also, we have stocks, bonds, day trading, dividends, and things of that nature. Option trading, and this is another major industry that we invest heavily in because of the money's just so it's just so great. I mean, you could lose money, but at the same time, you could make a lot of money as well. And that's what it's all about for us is just creating that generational wealth so that moving down the line, we always have something to leave for our loved ones. Another one, another industry, I should say, is let's go to crypto. Okay, cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is the new wave. Is going to be the new wave of how currency is transacted. Right, transactions from United States to overseas cryptocurrency, and cryptocurrency just being spent with different vendors. There are a lot of different alternate crypto, but we're going to get a little bit deeper into that later. Okay. Also, there is precious metals. Okay. Precious metals. You have everyone knows gold, silver. Not many people know of platinum. Not many people know of palladium and things of that nature. Okay. Uh, Silver is a really good way to start. Gold is a good way to start, and we're talking about generational wealth, right? These are tangible assets that you could actually pick up if you needed to go and trade them in or exchange them for dollars or whatever the case is. Then you could do that or exchange them for another metal, which is another part of the precious metal industry. And a lot of times people wonder how are we going to get all this stuff? How are we going to get all this generational wealth? Well, one thing that you can do is start working on your credit. Okay, credit is very powerful. You could actually leverage your credit so that you could turn your credit into cash, where you could use that cash to invest in some of these assets that we're discussing today. Uh, but again, like I was saying, credit is a really big component to generational wealth because you can leverage that. It's not necessarily needing money, but if you could have a high credit score and then turn around and leverage your money or leverage that credit to money, then you'll have a much better foundation based off of credit. Okay, based off of what you're buying with your credit. Okay, a couple of things I want to talk about today is let's go over some real estate, right? Because real estate and credit really kind of works hand in hand. You need some. Most people use loans for real estate. Most people could use a fix and flip, a buy and hold. And we're talking residential, by the way, right? So let's just look at a residential property, okay? If you have a residential property, okay, and you want to do a fix and flip, I wouldn't necessarily consider fix and flip generational wealth because you're eventually going to flip it, right? You're eventually going to sell it. So you're not necessarily going to have that asset to pass down through generations. So if we're going to talk about a single family, it wouldn't be a flip, it'd be more of a buy and hold. And a lot of times there's not that much money in buy and holds with single families. However, you can get really creative that way. Okay? You can get really creative. You could rent out rooms, Okay, you can rent out a room. Let's just say you have a 3 bedroom, two bath, right? You can rent out rooms, someone like a boarding house, where you're going to be getting passive income. That could be a weekly thing, bi-weekly thing, or even a monthly thing. Okay, and how you uh, basically pick up your rent from those particular renters. You also have the Airbnb. Airbnb is major because when it comes to Airbnb, depending on where your property is located, and you always in getting into real estate, you always want to have a great location when it comes to buying homes and commercial real estate. But when you're looking at Airbnb, that tends to that's like the new quote unquote way to rent out your home and getting more bang for your buck, as opposed to just having one tenant living at your property and you're making, let's just say, $900 a month, and they're paying $900 a month, but your passive income may just be $300 a month. But with Airbnb, you have a much better shot at creating a higher profit level because of how Airbnb is set up, where you could rent out a particular house for a week, and what you make in that week could be equivalent to what you had made in that month with just that one tenant paying on a monthly basis. So you can get really creative with that, and that is a form of generational wealth. So by the time uh, 20 years goes by, 10, 15 years goes by, the property could be either paid for or have a low balance, and then you're getting a pretty good passive income check each month. Okay, that's if you're renting it out, and obviously if you're doing Airbnb, like I mentioned, this check could be weekly, bi-weekly, or even sometimes per day. Just depends. Just depends. But all of this could be started with a good credit score. Okay, all this could be started with a good credit score. If you have a 750 credit score, a lot of people say 700 is a good number. It is a pretty good number, but that's not going to really get you what you really want, right? You want to be as high as possible so that not only you could get unsecured lines of credit, you could get loans, signature loans, for your flips, or excuse me, for your buys, right? So if you're going to buy and hold, then this would be a great situation where you could actually develop some passive income. Okay, you have credit cards. Credit cards could be a great asset. Okay, credit cards could be a great asset. Why? Because there's these things called AUs. Okay, authorized users. And basically, authorized user allows you to piggyback off of off of an individual in order to generate a high credit score, and which is going to reflect onto your credit. In turn, that's going to help your credit go a little bit higher. But that's not the end all be all when it comes to building up your credit. You also want to have primary accounts on your score, on your account. You also want to have history with these primary accounts on your file. Why? Because when it comes to lending, lenders always want to know how long you've had this loan for and what is your payment history. So if you can show good history and you can show a couple of years on one particular credit line, you're pretty much in business, because at that point you're going to have a high credit score, and then you'll be able to reap the benefits of low interest rates, rewards, things of that nature. Okay, so when it comes to buying and holding a property, these are the things that you can use. You can use a high credit score to actually purchase a residential property. If you may get lucky and you may be able to get two family or three family property, quad, even go up to a quad. And with that, you're still making a good passive income. You're making passive income, which is going to allow you to count and know how much money you're going to have at the end of the year based off that passive income, right? So once you figure out what you're going to do, the choice is yours. You could either go with renting out the property to a regular family, or you could do an Airbnb. Uh, the bottom line is you still own the property, right? So if in any event that happens, either A, you could sell your property, you could refinance your property. There are a lot of different things that you can do in order to keep money flowing out of your. You could get an HLOC loan on your property. There's so many things you can do. You could rehab your property, cash out, refi, and then actually have some money to go and do this again with another deal. So there are a lot of different nuances that people aren't don't necessarily mention to you because it's just a lot at the end of the day. But I'm here to tell you, I'm here to break everything down for you. I'm here to make it comfortable. More so, generational wealth 101. That's what it's for beginners. That's why I'm here. It is to help beginners get into wealth building based off of the knowledge base that I have and the experience that I've had. I've been in real estate for over 20 years. I've been investing for over 20 years when it comes to stocks, option trading. Well, stocks and option trading. Well, actually, option trading. I've been just trading for a couple of years, but real estate I've been doing for over 20 years, for quite some time. And that actually has to go hand in hand with credit. So I'm very knowledgeable about credit and things of that nature. So we will touch upon this more later on, but I just wanted to get this content out to you guys um, to see who could really it could benefit at the end of the day because it should be able to benefit everyone. Okay, should be able to benefit everyone. But again, there's going to be quite a lot of content that I'm going to be pumping out and just getting really deep into these subject matters when it comes to creating generational wealth. So I'm signing off, people. I appreciate your time. I love you, and you have a great one. Hugh, don't forget the F little, generational wealth. Thank you.